Welcome back to this Rift Let's Play. Yours, Sambo, Seraphis, and joining us, as always, is Tallahassee the Friendly. How are you this afternoon, my friend?
I'm going alright. It's a lovely day in Sanctum and we have some friends around.
I've just noticed that there are a couple of friends around, and in fact, if I zoom out my camera, will you have a look at this, folks? Welcome to our 100th episode here in our Rift Let's Play series. Tallahassee, can you believe this? It seems like we've got half of the game standing here celebrating with us. I am totally blown away. Will you look at that sight? Is that amazing or what?
I think this is actually the biggest sort of turnout event that we've had so far, isn't it?
It's got to be. This is
massive.
This is absolutely incredible. And of course, as we pan around here, you can see we've got folk who have come from far and wide, from our own Seraphim guild, and in fact from guilds all over the server, to come along and say hello here to help us celebrate our very special 100th anniversary episode. Look at that. We've got Tekapo up the top. How do people get up on those statues? You know what? I've tried to jump up there and it never happens, although we know how good I am at navigating things. Look at that, we've got someone from Thunder Down Under behind us. Who's that? Stage 8, wearing their underwear. Tallahassee, I'm surprised that you're not in your underwear. Are you feeling okay today?
I think you need to check your footage again.
Oh, have you been flashing?
Well, you'll never know until you go back and look, will you?
I hate you. You always do that to me. By the way, as we pan around, look at it. All of these folk whose name is in green, by the way, are our very special Seraphim members. And first up, I'd like to say a big hello and thank you to all of these guys and gals who came out to help us today, and of course who have been helping us right throughout our series. And there's good old Cezzy. We've got our Natural, who is, by the way, from our DC Universe Let's Play. You're a long way from home over there. We've got Grim Garrow, we've got Sim, we've got Tekapo. I love Tekapo. Tekapo's named after a lake back in New Zealand. I love that. We've got Linus, we've got Ceres. Hey guys and gals, and again, reminding you guys, if you'd like to be part of Seraphim here, all you need to do is click the link in the description below this video and you too can come along and be part of the madness. So Tallahassee, did you expect this many people to come and say hello to us?
No, I was not expecting this. I was expecting maybe, 10 people, maybe.
Same here. I just can't believe it. We do very much appreciate it, because all of these people here, of course, could be doing something else. They could be leveling their character. Instead, they've chosen to come along and be here. And you know what? That says a lot for the community here in Rift, Tallahassee. As you know, you and I have always been a big fan of the folk here. Do you remember? Of course, we're going to be doing a lot of reminiscing today. Do you remember we always used to talk about how when we first started this game, how we never came across any rude or horrible people? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do, and the thing is, you still don't really come across them.
I know.
Every once in a while there is a troll. Okay, I'll say that there is a troll.
Well, it's a fantasy world. There's going to be a troll, right?
By sheer numbers, it's like you'll have maybe 50 good people to that one troll.
Yeah.
Even 50 chat isn't that bad.
Well, do you know what? I mean, in all of these episodes that we've ever done, I still haven't come across anybody who's really, really upset me or offended me. And I don't know what it is about this game. It is different to, the other games that shan't be mentioned. Whereas the community spirit here, and especially on the server of Lathis, is particularly fantastic. Although, I must say, do you know what? I mean, we see this week in and week out. I think it has a lot to do with the development team, and we talk about this a lot, and the spirit of community they have. And of course, that comes down to people like, their community manager and the actual devs on the game. I mean, we're always singing their praises, but there's something about Trion. They seem to always be involved with their community and listening to the community. Although, Tallahassee, I must say, I'm kind of a little bit disappointed. I thought we were going to have something special lined up today, speaking of community managers and devs. Am I missing something here? Because I thought we had organised for a couple of special guests. Do you know anything about that?
Well, I had heard a rumour that there were going to be some people coming along.
So what happened?
Did you seem like they're here yet?
Did you scare them away, perhaps? Whoa! Hang on a minute. Who is that? Who is this? Tallahassee, what are you doing? I call shenanigans. I see somebody here. Oh, I see two people. I see somebody with the tag dev, and I see somebody with the tag CM. Tallahassee, is this witchy poo magic? What's happening here?
Well...
Hi, guys.
Whoa!
Hey, what's going on?
Whoa!
When you say, I have to say, when you say Trion, by the way, I believe you mean Trion. I think there's been 99 episodes before where you've been mispronouncing that, but I'm glad that I can be here to just bring you that little nugget of wisdom at the very least. So, hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for having us on here.
Tallahassee, did I just get told off by the community manager, Elrar, of Trion? Did that just actually happen? Oh my lord!
Yes, it did.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Australia.
Tallahassee. Oh wow. Okay, through the amazing magics of the interwebs and all the rest of it, we are joined here by two very special guests. Firstly, of course, the guy who's just slapped me across the face, CM Elrar. A big hello to you, sir.
Hello. Bringing the tough love, but we love you guys. That's why we are happy to be here and really excited to breach the gap between the oceans and be able to do this with you guys.
Thank you so much. All right, I let me bow to you. I apologize. So let's get this right. Is it Trion or Trion? What would you prefer?
It is Trion Worlds is the proper way of saying it.
Trion Worlds. I am so sorry. There we go. 100 episodes. Tallahassee, by the way, you're loving this, aren't you? You're lapping this up.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I mean, look, it's fine. They sort of understood what you were talking about. It's fine.
Well, can I blame my Kiwi accent on it? And of course, yes, you're dead right. The other person that we have here is indeed, there we go with the dev tag. It is Dead Simon. A big hello to you, kind sir.
Hello.
Goodness gracious, I can't believe you're here. Are you going to tell me off as, you know what, I'm thinking, if we had about 2 hours, how long is the list, is what I'm thinking, of all the mistakes I've ever made in the game. You know what, I think we're going to put a gag order on you. You are not allowed to talk about all the mistakes that I've made in the game, because otherwise the episode will be 3 hours long. But thank you so much.
Okay, well, I'll leave it to one then, Seraphim, and that is that I actually want to be able to log on to your character and sort out your bags. They drive me absolutely insane. Every time you open them on there, I just like, what is that rubbish?
No. You know what? I can hear all of our fans and viewers going, yes, tell him. Oh my god. Okay, Tallahassee, I'm not so sure about this anymore. I've been told off for pronunciation by the community manager, Elrar, and now I've been told to sort my bags by the design director of the game, Dead Simon himself. This is not working out as I had planned, Tallahassee. Are you agreeing with them, are you?
Yeah.
Well, we should let you know that he did contact us and told us that he needed some tough love to be brought. So that's really the only reason why we're here.
Is that?
It's an intervention.
I see how it is now, Tallahassee. I see how it is. Actually, you know, I've got to get back up on this rock because my camera, I'm forever playing with it. Oh, I can never find things, and of course it's clipping and I can't see. I want to make sure that we get everybody in shot. So guys, firstly, thank you so much for coming along, and I apologise on both counts. Actually, let's open my bags. Hang on. Now, you're not going to believe this. Dead Simon, I actually have a Spirit Weave bag here that only has 3 items in it. Yes, all of the rest of them are full, but that's my idea of clearing out my bag. I'm going to ask you... Oh, I'm getting a slow clap! I want to know from the design director himself, this is my point. What am I meant to do with all my mighty scrolls of strength and my mighty scrolls of wisdom and my wrathful flames? I mean, they just sit in my bags. There you go, there's a direct question. What do I do with those?
Okay, so the strength and stuff, you're a mage, you probably don't need it. Sell that stuff. The wrathful flames, we can use them. They're meant to be used. Don't just stockpile them, just use them.
Yeah, I love how many people stockpile their planar rewards and their scrolls, like waiting for that magic hour where they're gonna get the full use out of it or whatever. It's like, come on, just use them. They always drop. There's infinite amounts.
And I can tell you, like, if you're saving it to use on a green scale raid or something, he's just gonna laugh at you.
Tallahassee, you're loving this, aren't you? You are absolutely loving this because you've been telling me that since day one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do I have to admit that you're right, Tallahassee? This is embarrassing. This is super embarrassing. You know what? This is the last time we get any honoured special guests on our show because they're just going to show me up. But look, seeing as you guys are both here, by the way, again, thank you so much. We've got a couple of questions for you because, of course, it's very rare that we get a glimpse behind the scenes of the game. And you know what? My first one is for you, Dead Simon. And once again, folks, Dead Simon comes to us as as the design director for the game of Rift, so it's an honor to have you here. There's a question that Tallahassee and I ask ourselves nearly every week, and it's something that I'd like to get a definitive answer on. But Tallahassee, I'll let you ask the question. I'm sure you know what it's about.
This is the landscapes, isn't it?
It is the landscapes. Go on. We've got the horse's mouth right here. Let's ask them.
Do you guys have a cartographer or someone that does location scouting on staff that helps build these environments?
We do not. We just have incredibly talented environment artists who know their craft incredibly well.
You are kidding me.
Really, nope, they're an amazing bunch of people who know how topography works inside and out, and they do an absolutely amazing job. I mean, I am like you, Surface. I am definitely a gawker, and I still do that all the time as I am playing the game. I play the game a lot. You guys, I've probably played with some of you, and you just didn't know it was me.
Oh, well, that's very interesting, because we were going to ask you that question, which is, we're going to ask the same of you in a minute, by the way, Elrar. I don't think you're getting away with this. But Dead Simon, that was the thing. Do you actually play the game? And obviously you do. So do you have, right now you guys are on your fancy schmancy characters, but do you actually have Dead Simon, a real character that you play just like the rest of us?
I do. In fact, I actually have 4 characters I play regularly. 3 of them are max level, and 1 is almost max level. One of them is raid geared.
Well, there you go.
This is actually a copy of one of those characters. I'm wearing a different outfit though, so you're not going to be able to track me down and figure it out by what outfit I'm wearing.
Damn. All right,
because I like to be incognito. For 2 reasons. One is I love the game and I play the game. We built the game to be a game that we love to play, so that lots of us here play it. But also, I don't want people to know who I am, so I hear raw feedback. When somebody is complaining about something, I like to make a note of it.
Well, there you go. See, and by the way, we're trying to keep an eye on you there. There we go. That's what he's looking like right now. So that answers that question, folks. And you know what? This is something that Tallahassee and I have always said from the beginning, and you're proving us right, that we believe that the brains behind this game are folk that listen to the community, that actually play at a player level and understand what's going on. Elrar, you're a community manager. Now, firstly, tell us what is a community manager? Like, what's a typical day for you, by the way?
I'm sorry, what was that? I wasn't listening. No, I'm kidding. I
get it. There we go. A community manager that doesn't listen.
See what I did there?
I see what you did there.
So like we were talking about earlier, it's very much I just like you guys, I get to interact with all of you as players, and really listen to what you're doing, and that's why part of the reason we love your show is that I can watch your show, and unlike when someone comes to forums and gives me some feedback about their experience there, I watch you experience it, and that's a whole different level of feedback when you think about it, because it's like you're watching like the child try and figure out how to pour the glass of milk or whatever. So
absolutely.
So just like my baby girl spilling it all over her front.
Hang on a minute. Wait a minute, Dead Simon. Are you saying perhaps
this is a turn outside?
Are you saying perhaps that watching my show is hang on? I'm thinking Tallahassee. We all know how frustrated Tallahassee gets with my shenanigans here in the game and bumbling my way through it. But of course, Dead Simon, as design director, you would never feel like that. You must watch me with pride, thinking this is exactly how we want the game to be played, right?
Absolutely, yes. It is, you are just possibly the best player I have ever seen.
Tallahassee. Yeah, Tallahassee has completely lost the plot now. He's rolling around on the floor laughing. CM Elrar, do I detect a slight fib being told there?
It might have been dripping with sarcasm, but who knows? It's the internet. You can't.
You can never tell.
It was said on the internet. It must be true.
It must be true
on the internet.
There you go.
It must be true. Exactly.
Now, speaking of community management, by the way, and Elrar, we say this week in and week out, we very much thank you, by the way, for mentioning us on your Facebook page and on Twitter, and we're proud to be part of the community here at Rift. But I get a lot of questions about community management. If you were to give one piece of advice to anybody out there watching who wanted to break into community management, if you got some small snippet, what's a good thing for them in terms of leading down that career path?
So, I would just say that obviously a thick skin is absolutely required, and the biggest thing is the ability to understand both a player's perspective and the actual design perspective that goes into making these games, because there's a lot of the times where you have to communicate the two and it doesn't naturally translate. You have to, and even when working with the developers, sometimes I have to explain why even you guys are having, a frustration with a particular thing, and it's all about figuring out how do you because it can be different languages in some, but the great thing about this team, though, I have to say, is that these guys are awesome about being out there, going out there, reading everything you guys are like, they come to me with stuff like I think Simon was like, we were thinking the same thing, but he came and he was like, so do you think we could be at their 100th episode? It's like, I love that about everyone here. So
that's fantastic. And Tallahassee, we've often talked about this sort of thing. How good is it to hear that, our wildest dreams in terms of, developers actually listening to the community? That's something that we don't really get to see in a lot of other games. You must be happy that's actually true, yeah?
Yeah, I'm happy that there's the interaction. You know what I mean? It's good that Simon comes out and plays. I know Elrar comes out and plays as well. So they're actively involved in the game. Yeah. And that's what you need.
Absolutely.
Simon, I have a question for you. It's regarding the talent trees, and this is something that Sambo and I talked quite a lot about in the early stages of the game. But how did you go ahead and get the trees or souls all put together and all working with each other?
Well, as you can imagine, it was quite a challenge. It was a bit of an evolution how we ended up getting to the way the talent trees work, but once we had settled on it, we basically had one simple rule, which was it fun? And we kind of worried a little less about dealing with ones that were overpowered or things that didn't work too well at the beginning. We just made it as fun as we could, because we knew that we would get feedback from our players who would let us know when things weren't working. That is certainly the way it has played out, and that we iterate as rapidly as we possibly can, and have gradually, over the last 14 months, I guess we've been out now, have tweaked and fixed and polished and got them to where they are now, and I think they're in a pretty great state. We're about to throw a giant, great big wrench in the works once we do the expansion, because we will be adding another 10 levels to each of the existing souls, plus adding one new soul to each of the callings, which, as you can imagine, suddenly makes a whole ton load of new combinations.
That is,
we're doing it all over again.
That is amazing. The brains that you guys must have behind all this is incredible, because we are always talking about how it must be a nightmare to balance all of this. And by the way, it leads on to another question for you there, Dead Simon, which is, how, taking it right back to the very core, how do you guys actually come up with ideas for content within the game? How does that process happen?
We have a very flexible team here. We basically don't do a whole bunch of documentation and stuff like that. We have a lot of really talented designers who, with an amazing tool set, and they just basically prototype stuff if they want to try and get it in the game.
Wow.
And we'll get a bunch of us to actually play it, and then we'll get in a room afterwards, and we know pretty darn quick whether what we just played was going to be a success and get in the game. Generally, if everyone sort of files into that room and it's kind of quiet, we pretty much shoot it in the head right away. If everyone is sort of like laughing and talking about how to make it better, and wasn't it so awesome when this happened, and what about when that happened, then we'll polish it and make it happen.
As an outside observer, it's pretty amazing to watch that happen, because it's the first time I've seen that work at a studio like that, and just to watch the individuals come up with their idea, and then they get the freedom to run with it, and then that actually winds up in the game. That's pretty amazing to watch from my end. And also from another part of it too that is really awesome is that anyone in the company, we have an email list where people can just shout out, I'm thinking that this would be pretty cool, and then there's a whole real democratic discussion about it too, and some of that, a small fraction of that actually becomes part of the game.
That's incredible, and that is absolutely not how I thought it would work, because I figured it would be bogged down in all sorts of corporate rubbish, sort of velvet ropes left, right and center, and I'm sure that exists, but that's great to know, and I'm sure great for all of our...
You know what, I just want to jump in and cut you off right there, because that actually doesn't exist. That's what I absolutely absolutely love about Trion, and that's why I am still here at Trion. It's why I joined. This is a company of gamers who have come together to make a game that they love. I mean, I actually ended up getting a bunch of feedback from one of our members of the board who told me that he had been raiding over the weekend, and hey, wouldn't it be cool if, and then he had a giant, great big missive about what would have made the game better.
What?
And that
Wait a minute. This is a board member.
So that's a board member. That's just not even he's not even part of designing the game, but he is, because he's a board member. It's the cool thing is that we all have our job first, right? But then after that we all, like, so many of us play the game and love the game that it's just natural that we talk about it and have suggestions for it, just as you guys do.
Yeah, and that goes for our chief financial officer, who's also raiding in our game, and
our marketing team,
creative.
Our creative, our web designers all play.
And nobody's shut up in an office somewhere. I mean, my direct boss sits right behind me. We're out on the floor. We can all talk together. It's just it's a giant, great big party.
I could stand up right now and yell at Simon and say hello and ask him questions. So
Tallahassee. Now we all know that Tallahassee loves his job, and Tallahassee works in software development. Are you actually still there, Tallahassee, or have you gone and jumped off a cliff?
I think I'm about to go do that, but for me that sounds amazing, because we don't have that level basically where I work. You know what I mean? It's still fairly open, but it's still really segmented. So you've still got your different areas that do different things, and they don't talk.
Yeah, it's just development's not fast enough that way. And I mean, right from day one, our philosophy was that we wanted to put the service back into what an MMO was. I mean, like, we have a lot of people that are paying us money every month. We feel like, they deserve to get a service for that, not just kind of like stick a box on a shelf and forget about it for a year. We needed to be able to develop really fast.
Now, speaking of payment, got another question for you here, which I'm sure is on the end of the tongues of a lot of folk who are watching along today, which is your thoughts about free-to-play. And before you answer that, of course, we know that, the game has become, well, I like to call it an extended trial. We've got a free-to-play component at the beginning. Just in general, what are your thoughts about free-to-play and Elrar? I mean, you, as a community manager, you will see all sorts of comments about the design decision to go free-to-play on a number of other MMOs, I'd imagine. What are your thoughts about it and how it relates to Rift here?
So, I mean, the big thing is that with having the subscriptions and knowing that you guys are here, sticking with the game, playing, we are able to make these awesome updates that everyone loves.
Yeah.
But free-to-play absolutely also has its value. I mean, we're making End of Nations, and that's going to be a free-to-play game. I mean, so the whole idea is that options are good, right? Yeah. I mean, the ability to have a game that has the type of quality and the type of updates that you like versus having the kind of accessibility that you want. Like, those are two choices, and those are choices that, I think are good. I think it's great that those exist.
Right, and I couldn't agree more. Dead Simon, from a design point of view, I think a big issue with anything that is been traditionally free to play in the past is the whole buy to win concept, where, a game's going to go free to play, therefore, if I've got my dad's credit card, I'm going to be a better player than you. In terms of design direction, have you had to change anything about being free to play at the beginning of Rift, or is it not an issue?
No, I mean, there are ways you can do free to play where that is not an issue. It's just you don't sell things that give people a distinct edge over winning somebody else. Most of the things that you can sell are like cosmetic items, or a new mount, or new pets, or some fireworks, or the Scotty's sheeping wand. I mean, things that are fun and make the game great to play, but don't actually necessarily mean that the person with the fattest wallet has to win.
That's right, and I agree, and I think Tallahassee, we've often talked about that, and the fact that we love the fact that Rift still has a subscription, by the way, and we're of course more than happy to pay ours monthly. I keep throwing money at the screen, but it doesn't work. Now, speaking of cool items and stuff, you know what, I've just been thinking as we see, let's zoom in, here you are, there's Elrar, by the way, looking very flash. I've got a question that I've been dying to ask you. You are a community manager. That means you must have in the game GM powers, right?
Like every once in a while I can just be like, boom, and he's a sheep. Or maybe you are.
Oh, hey, that's not.
So,
wait a a minute. I was just about to say you would never abuse those powers, would you? You've turned me into...
I'm gonna go buck wild here. How about this? Everyone is now a sheep.
No way. What do you mean everyone?
I wish I had
everyone's a sheep.
Everyone is becoming a sheep right now.
Oh my lord! Hey, Tallahassee.
I am making my flock.
Tallahassee, we need to report this immediately. We need to report it to the community manager. We need to get on to customer service that we've got a wild, rampant player who is clearly exploiting the game here. There's an exploit. Look at this, folks. We are getting it on film right here and right now. And I'm going to bring back my user interface. I want to see if I've got a buff on me. Oh, look at this. Bah! You don't feel like yourself. Do you know what, Tallahassee? I feel like I'm back home in New Zealand.
I didn't want to bring that up.
This is bonkers, folks. You only see it here. Look at this. We've got now a whole bunch of sheep. So there we are. We are literally your flock, guys. You are our shepherds. And I think, by the way, it's funny that you have actually turned us into sheep, Elrar, because I think it was great earlier on you described being a community manager as a shepherd. Is that right?
A bit more of a cat herder, but yeah, same ballpark. So absolutely.
It's the same thing.
The irony does not escape me.
Yeah, oh, this is classic. Now, by the way, while we're all sheeped here, I've got another question. I'm going to ask it to you first, Dead Simon, and what was the very first MMO that you ever played?
Wow. So I guess I played some MUDs when they were text-based things, but the first 3D one I played was actually EQ.
EQ? Hardcore?
Enough, I actually still play.
Whoa, EQ, and this is EQ1 we're talking about?
Yes, I still play EQ1.
Whoa.
I actually play the hardcore version, the 1999, what it was like when it first came out.
Wow, okay, well now Tallahassee, I'm going to say I told you so here. It's the only time in our entire series that I'm actually going to be able to do this. Have I not said, how many times have I said when we're running around in the beautiful world of Talara here that I get that EverQuest 1 vibe to the game, by the way? I've said that, right?
You have, and because I never played EverQuest.
Now, I don't know if this is a spirit of it coming through Dead Simon, but I honestly feel that Rift has got that nice balance of old school open world MMO crossed with theme park elements, and we're going to get onto that in just a minute. But Elrar, thanks for turning us all into sheep. You get the same treatment though. What was your very first MMO?
So EverQuest was mine as well. That was where I cut my teeth at a very young age.
Oh gosh, so we're all hardcore around here. This is very interesting.
It's funny what you're saying though. I mean, I definitely, that's why I love Rift, is because it still has that challenge. It has that sense of adventure and that depth to it.
Yeah.
But I love that I can come in and play for 30, 45, an hour and still get a massive amount of stuff done, which wasn't possible in the more classic MMOs.
Yeah, I mean, I loved EQ, but there were certainly things that you would not really be able to do, in a modern MMO today. I mean, they weren't, it was just a bit too crazy, having no map.
Yeah, I know. I think a lot of people don't understand just how lucky we are today with the, let's say, modern conveniences, by the way. But you know what? One of the things that I think a lot of modern MMOs do slightly miss the mark on is that, and I never know how to articulate this properly, but it's a combination of a sense of a living, breathing world. It's an open world. There's a community that's going on. You feel like you've got a purpose in here, and you actually feel like you're running around in a world, in a landscape, and I can't think of any other way of putting it, but I'd just like to be the first to say to you guys that you got that, you nailed that absolutely bang on the head. So I don't know if it was deliberate or not, but it works.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it was that's really good to hear, because we certainly did go for that. I mean, there were a couple of things that we wanted to get, and one is just what you're describing there, that sense of wonder.
Yes.
A place that is fun to explore, and also a variety of things to do, so that you log on and you think, what am I going to do today? Am I going to quest? Am I going to rift? Am I going to raid? Am I going to hunt for artifacts? Am I going to puzzles? Am I going to do onslaught. Instant adventure. You just
So many different things that you can do in this game. And we're adding mentoring in 1.9, which is literally going to open up the entire game.
Exactly.
To everybody.
Now, that's what we want to get onto now. We're conscious of the time, guys. And by the way, once again, we so appreciate yours. And folks, if you're watching along, don't go away just yet, because we've still got one little more event coming up. But talking about the future now, we've talked about the past, we've talked about that sense of wonder. We've had our year anniversary with the game, of course, and with our series as well, by the way. And we're here celebrating our 100th. You know, we've got 100 more episodes I hope to look forward to. But speaking of the future, we've got a couple of things happening. And Elrar, you were just talking about mentorship. So for those of us who have no clue what you're talking about, what is mentorship and how does it work here, or how will it work here in Rift?
Yeah, sure. So 1.9 is coming next week, in case your listeners, it'll probably be out by the time this actually comes out, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Mentoring is basically at any level, level 10 to level 50, basically. You can go back 5 levels or more to engage in content and get rewards like XP or planar attunement experience or inscribed source stone or the source stone that's appropriate for your current tier that you're in, and earn that by doing any of the content as long as you're mentored down to the appropriate level for it. So basically all you got to do is right click you'll see when you get in, you'll just right click your character portrait, go to set ascended mentor level, or right click a lower level group member, and you can just set your level right to theirs. We're adding new instant adventures as well you guys haven't had a chance to check out instant adventure yet.
No.
But those are those awesome quests where you get to where basically you get to do these they're just kind of streamlined quests where they scale with the size of your group, and you can go from objective to objective and you accrue rewards, planarite experience, and they'll generally come to a head with a boss fight or defend a planar ward stone from a huge planar invasion. And basically they're just awesome because it's literally instant adventure. You run all around the zone doing these quests. They're chained together, scale with the size of your groups, whether it's just you alone or with 20 other people or 19 other people. You just run around and you just have this constant exploration and just
that is awesome.
Adventure. So you can actually mentor down once 1.9 goes out and check it out in Free March and Silverwood, and then once you guys are 45, you can check out the Shimmer Sand and Stillmore ones.
Oh man, I can't wait. You hear that, Tallahassee? That's definitely going to be on the roadmap. And of course, the mentoring thing I think is a fantastic idea because it allows players like me. Look, I've just got to say I apologize to both of you here for speeding through the game so quickly. I don't normally advocate power leveling, but we've just got to, in the interest of time, we've always got to be racing forward. Of course, you guys probably disagree with me just a little bit there.
I love how you meander through the game. That's how I've always seen it. I thought you were taking your time.
Of course, poor old Tallahassee gets frustrated because Tallahassee, you've already got a level 50, right?
Yep, I've got North, who's my warrior in Seraphim.
So how can you see mentoring helping in terms of folks that don't get a lot of time to play, because time's a factor these days?
So I'm going to give you an example, my personal example, right? So I already have 2 level 50s, but my other 2 classes that I haven't gotten to 50 yet, I've been leveling up with friends, and part of it is I really want to get my warrior right now. He's the one, he's just about to get to instant adventure and just about to get to 50 after that, and I really want to get him to 50, and now with mentoring I can, because I don't have to worry about leaving my friend behind, because now I can get 50, start enjoying all that content, and then when he logs in I can just mentor on down and go play like nothing ever changed. Like I can just save all those quests and do them when he logs in, and to me that's just an awesome experience that previously you couldn't have, and now you can just play at your own pace with your group of friends, and they can level as much as they want, and when it's time to play with them, you don't have to worry about having an alt that stays at their level or anything. You just go, hey, whatever character I'm on, I'm gonna go play with you right now.
And that is, I think, one of the great things about this game, and that dimension that we're talking about, those multi-dimensions where, depending on the time, we're all time poor these days. The fact that we can hop in and have a choice of things to do, but now we've got a choice of who to do them with as well, is something that is I think a really awesome and unique differentiator for this game. And of course, something else that's looming on the horizon, I think this is something that we're all very, very excited about, is just a little teeny thing called an expansion that is coming up around the corner. Now, please, Dead Simon, firstly, we've got a lot of questions about this one from folk that are here. When is it coming, firstly? When is the actual expansion due for release? release?
We are targeting the end of this year, so the fourth quarter of this year.
Not far away at all. And of course, you guys, no doubt, you guys are going to be like busy beavers, I'd imagine, behind the scenes. But you know what? We've spoken about this a couple of times in our most recent Let's Play episodes. Where is it true? Because I find this incredibly hard to believe. Forgive me. I mean, the world of Talara, as it stands now, is kind of big. It's kind of big. We're led to believe that the world in the expansion is as big, if not bigger, again. Is that just a wild rumor that's going around?
It is not a rumor at all. It is absolutely massive. Combined, the two new continents are about twice the space that exists today, so the whole world is getting triple the size that it is today.
Wait a minute. Excuse me. What? No. Yeah, but
I did the same thing. Don't worry.
Yeah. Hang on. I mean, I'm not the best at maths, right? So, are you telling me that if I took the world of Talara as it is now and not doubled it but tripled it, that's what we're talking about for the expansion? No, surely not.
Yes. No, that is right. I mean, it's laid out a little differently. There are still zones. There are several zones, but the zones are more for organizational purposes than anything else. We wanted to make it feel like, I don't know, like the Lost Continent. It's a fantastic place to explore.
It's got an awesome world feel right now, like from the parts that are really coming together now. You can these epic vistas and stuff. It's pretty awesome. It's kind of the stuff that we don't have right now. That it's that extra edge.
You like some of the views that you see now? We just pushed some of those to we turned them to 11 basically. We can just some of the views are just unbelievable. It's the distance.
Tallahassee, did you notice what he said there? I think you've just gained instant lifelong fans from myself in Tallahassee. Go Spinal Tap is all I will say. Tallahassee, did you notice that?
I did.
I did, he says.
I know, we're going to put Dobley stereo in it.
Yeah, I think now...
Can we get a miniature Stonehenge as well?
Yeah, miniature Stonehenge! There we go.
I am so doing that. A miniature Stonehenge.
Tallahassee. You guys have heard it right here and right now. We have got commitment from Dead Simon, the design director of the game, and Elrar, that we are actually going to have a mini Stonehenge in a prominent place in the expansion. Here's
a note right now.
On film, we expect a commitment from both of you guys to meet us again in the future, gathered around the mini Stonehenge for a future episode at the launch of the expansion. Do you agree or do you not agree?
I'm not going to be up to that level yet.
I
absolutely agree. I'll make sure that I put it somewhere where there'll be enough space for people to meet, but it's not going to be easy to find.
You heard it here first, folks. What a coup. There we go. Mini Stonehenge. I am definitely going to look forward to that one. There we go. That is fantastic. Now, speaking of the expansion, though, thank you guys. Dead Simon, I mean, in terms of the features, if you had to sort of, if you were putting on your hard sell hat, for example, and you were coming to me and I was the boss of you, and you were coming to me and saying, Sambo, I've got this idea for an expansion for Rift. Here's my top ideas. What were they?
Yeah, there were a lot of new things. I mean, but actually what you just said is the most exciting thing, is actually having space. I mean, one of the problems that we have, I mean, as I mentioned before, we've always thought of ourselves as a service, and we like to deliver content at a furious pace. You probably have noticed that we've done like
just
several,
a couple.
We call them patches, but I mean they're more like updates. A patch sounds like a couple of bug fixes. These are serious content updates.
Yep.
And the side effect is that we have run out of space. There's about 10 things going on in every single square inch of the world. So we needed more space to deliver an awesome new place for everyone to explore, more quests, more events, everything right out of the door, but also a lot of room to grow in the future so that we can add new stuff. Right, the zone events are what what we love and what our players love. You guys haven't really played a whole lot of those in your Let's Play yet.
No,
Do one of those
we haven't. It's something that we're always limited in terms of time, unfortunately, which is awful. But with the events, I must say that when I'm playing off camera, the thing I love about them the most is that they appear just like an ordinary quest. Like, I don't actually have to think too hard about it to be able to go, what is the current world event? I can look at it in my UI, it's right there, and I can decide to participate or not. And I think that that's a fantastic design decision, by the way. And speaking of design decisions, talking about the UI, Tallahassee and I are often waxing lyrical about this mythical UI where everything we need is at our fingertips, and we believe that Rift has come very, very close to it. In terms of design, when it comes to a UI, did it always look like this, and is it an evolving process, by the way? Are you always going, oh gosh, we forgot to add this button, or wouldn't it be nice if we did that? Like, how does UI design come about? Because surely it's kind of personal as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it certainly has evolved since day one. I mean, we've added a lot of stuff to it since day one, some of it just from player feedback. I mean, in fact, actually, one of the key things, the join public group, the button that comes up at the top there, that was actually our players said, hey, give us that button. We thought, yeah, you know what, that's an awesome idea. So in it went.
There you go, folks.
And that's great. I mean, that is, our philosophy always. It's like, hey, how can we make it better? What do we think is going to work? What do our players want? And yeah, you're right. UI is very personal. I'm sure that you could take a screenshot of absolutely every single person here and look at their UI, and you'd be hard pressed to find two that look the same. So customization is big.
Absolutely, and that's what we love about Rift. Thank you so much, Dead Simon and Elrar, for answering a lot of our questions today, by the way. We very much appreciate that sort of behind the scenes insight. And as you probably know, Tallahassee and I have often asked a lot of questions like that, like, again, how is the game designed? Have you got architects doing the amazing scenery? Do you guys all sit around in a room with a beer to come up with new ideas? All of those questions and more have been answered by you guys today, and that's one of the things we know and love about everybody there, is that you are open and honest about all things, and we, for one, appreciate that very much. But I know that another thing that you guys like to do, obviously, is play the game and have fun, and I believe we've got a couple of little events lined up for us, so folks, definitely don't want to go away, because I know for a fact that this event is going to culminate in something very special. Now, Elrar, I believe that you're able to give us something here today to one lucky player in terms of a server award. What is this that you speak of? Something about a server first, perhaps?
Well, everyone loves seeing that text. So-and-so, well, you personally yourself has discovered something for the first time in the world. So what I have is, in the future, whenever I show up on these servers again, because I do pop in from time to time,
which we love.
I'm at work and I just want to go in and say hi to everyone. And I have these things that I can put down that it gives bacon and mead to everybody. But right now it's not working all the way. But you can, for the first person who gets that first piece of bacon or that first jug of mead gets the server first. So
no way.
We'll see what sheep is the best sheep.
Yeah, that's right. That is amazing. There you go, folks. One of these lucky players right here is going to get themselves a server first. That is amazing. Anyhow, we need to go and literally herd the flock and get ourselves organized, and we will be right back. And here we are, folks. As you can see, we've got ourselves a crazy, sheepish situation going on here. We're all lined up at the foot of the Sanctum Bridge, a bunch of sheep. Elrar, you've been going nuts with your sheeping, I can see. You're having fun there.
Yes, I am having more fun than I could ever possibly imagine, but no. It's great. I love doing this. Everyone just really gets into it and loves running around as a giant flock of sheep. It's fitting that we had this random illusion that we could have possibly had available to us just happened to be sheep. So.
That's right. Well, it's reminding me of back home, by the way, coming from New Zealand. I do miss sheep. I do miss seeing them running around. But look, guys, we've come up with this great idea, and this is that we're going to have ourselves a sheep run. Now, this was born out of another idea. Dead Simon, I believe you've had a similar event recently, wasn't it? Although I don't think it was sheep. It was something to do with something that's close to Tallahassee's heart, and that was nakedness. What was all that about?
It was a while ago now. We did an event for Extra Life, which is a charity that helps children. We did a naked run from here all the way to Meridian. It was,
Now, how long did that take?
Quite a while, and there were a lot less of us that arrived than started out, put it that way.
Elrar?
Yeah, it's awesome. Extra Life is something else. We're planning to bring it back. It's happening, I think it's middle of October. That's when it happened last year.
Right.
It's going to be one Saturday in October where basically we will play Rift for 24 hours. We haven't figured out all the details of what we're doing, but definitely if you guys can come out and check it out for part of it, we'll be happy to join you again.
Oh, we would love that. Tallahassee, you up for a big long gaming sesh, like old school LAN days,
I'm
maybe?
down for that.
You're down for that? All right.
Oh, yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, definitely. Take that as a given, guys. We will absolutely be there 110%, especially for a charity like Extra Life. We'd love to get right in behind that. But of course, today it's all about the fluff, all about the wool, all about the sheep, and we've organised a bit of a run today as well. Now, Elrar, I'm just going to bring up my map. I think we're going to have a bit of a race today. If I zoom right out, here we go. We're looking at Silverwood. Where are we going to race to today, please?
So let's, of course, go to the inn, kick back by the fire, drink some mead, and eat some bacon.
Oh, I see how it's working. I get it now. So you're suggesting that we run all the way along here. Here you can see the path I'm tracing with my mouse, guys. Past, what's that? Past the Marsh House. All of these classic, iconic areas from early on in our series. All there's Silver Landing as well. This is going to be lots of fun. Past the Cave of Seasons and, of course, into Argent Glade here, into the inn. And I believe that that's where you're going to drop your little surprise, right?
I believe so.
Oh, all right. So that means somebody who gets into the inn and discovers that is going to get this server first, and that is exciting. I can't wait for that to happen. But all right, I think without further ado, you can see here that everybody is rip-roaring, ready to go. Tallahassee, are you ready to rock and roll?
Let's do this thing.
Dead Simon?
Ready to go.
Ready to go. Now, do you reckon, by the way...
little legs are ready.
Well, I was just going to say, you're not allowed to cheat, by the way. I bet you could invoke all sorts of super magic GM powers. And the same goes for you, Elrar. Are you ready to rock, and are you going to cheat or not? You're not
I might cheat for part of it so that I can put the bacon and mead down.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, well, I think what we've done is we've keyed up these guys here, and we've said to them that on my go that they are able to start racing. So hang on, I want to get myself lined up. I'm going to message them here. Okay, guys, are we ready? Here we go, and what's going to be exciting? Go, go, go! Go, guys! Woohoo! We are off! Look at this. Have you ever seen such a sight, folks? We have got 50 billion sheep running across the Sanctum Bridge. Have you ever seen this before? Oh, I love MMOs too. And of course, I'd imagine, Dead Simon, you know what? It's fantastic for me to hear that this is something that absolutely spins your whistle. It spins my whistle. This is why we play games, is it not?
This is why we made this game.
Classic.
We love this stuff.
Oh, this is classic stuff. And look at that, we've got a lone sheep wandering off. I'm just going to type in here, stick to the path. There we go. You know what? If anybody is going to be running past here in the zone, they're going to be thinking to themselves, what on earth is going on? This is classic stuff.
Some people are... Look at the sheep following the sheep in the wrong direction.
Oh, man. It is...
There's some sheep just taking it right there.
That is it, isn't it? That's exactly what you do. Do you know what? I think if one of us ran off the cliff, it'd be like lemmings. We'd all run off the cliff. And of course, folks, if you're watching along from home, this is not about being the first to get there, because I'm sure maybe that Elrar, you'll probably only drop the item once we're all there, right? And probably in fairness.
Yeah. I'll wait till the crowd's there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because some people have all their planar attunements and they're super fast and they have a racial ability that lets them jump every 60 seconds. So yeah.
This is, in fact, just to reiterate that point, I'm going to come back here and pick up the stragglers. Come on, where are we? Who's that? Jorlin, hello, just to show that it's all fair in love and war. There we go, mate. I'm going to come along with you, although we've lost the flock there. No, we're so far behind. Oh, this is classic. Tallahassee.
We got invasions attacking us.
Oh, have you? Tallahassee, when you signed up to play Rift, did you ever envisage yourself running along in a flock of 50, 60, 70 sheep, ever?
No, this is pretty much the most bizarre thing I think I've ever seen.
Oh, damn it. You know what? I can't see because... Oh, God, there's an invasion. We're way out of view. Oh, there they are off in the distance. Oh, yeah, we can start seeing some of you come into view now. There you go, folks. It was a classic sight there. I don't know how. I haven't counted counted how many folk we've got here, but surely that's a one-off. I mean, we've had the naked run. Now, Dead Simon, as we're running along here, by the way, all the way to Argent Glade, did you have folk, I guess, that didn't know what was going on, stopping by the wayside thinking, what on earth is a whole bunch of naked folk running around?
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the funnest things about doing these things is seeing people standing by the roadside. The number of times I saw WTF was...
What the hell is going on? Oh boy, and of course I'd imagine that this would be a sight that would be very difficult to avoid. A flock of sheep running down the road. Here we are at the Marsh House, Tallahassee. This brings back lots of memories. I remember us questing all through here. You know what, I've got fond memories, and we talked about this off camera before, but do you remember Tallahassee, the very first time we logged in for our Let's Play series, and we were in the newbie zone there, and we were talking about stuff, and we got to the first little village there, and we were looking at the technology that was there. Tallahassee, you'll remember the first time we ever saw a dragon, do you?
Yeah, dragons were done right.
Yeah,
that's the first thing I said.
That is exactly right, and I think we harped on about this for absolutely ages, and seeing as we've got you here, Dead Simon, I mean, we talked about the fact that the dragons were unique in this game, and that they were unlike dragons in any other game that we've ever seen before, and we loved it. I mean, where did that design come from? Is it like the landscape where it just comes out of some incredibly talented individual's head, or what's going on there?
Absolutely. I mean, we have several very talented concept artists who do a lot of our concept work, and they I hear you guys say this a lot, and it really makes me happy because it's exactly what we were going for, which is like familiar but just slightly off and a little bit strange.
Yep, that is exactly how we see the creatures in this game. And of course, you know, I've not had the privilege yet of seeing any crazy end world like bosses or stuff like that. Are you still with us in the race, by the way, Elrar? I've lost you.
I'm in the end. I'm relaxing.
Oh, are you? Oh, you're already there. You just take your time there. Don't worry about us stragglers. Here we are in Argent Glade, by the way. And by the way, Elrar promised bacon. Elrar promised bacon. I'm shouting that to the world. You're not going to get away with not giving us bacon.
It's just wrong. Sheep eating bacon.
Yeah, I do think it's wrong. There we go, folks. Hello, everybody. Here we go in the inn. Look at this. It is an inn full of sheep.
Oh, no.
We've got this server first, Elrar, that nobody else, of course, really knows what's going on. Now, you haven't dropped it yet, have you?
I have not yet, no. I've actually got to get back in the game here for a second. I accidentally closed my window.
Oh, look at that.
I was trying to get away.
All right, well, once you're back in the game, and there you go, folks, it happens to the best of us. This is something that I've been really looking forward to because, of course, what this does is reward our faithful followers here who, let's face it, have stayed with us through thick and thin. It's never easy filming this episodes. It takes a very long time to get through all of the work that's required. And, of course, you can imagine for all of our players here who can't hear us talking, for them, it's a whole lot of standing around, let's face it. And, you know, Elrar, are you as amazed as I am that folks are committed and dedicated to things such as this? I mean, it's that real community spirit, right?
I love the fact that... excuse me, my hiccups have returned. That I really love that we didn't say anything about us coming out here. This is all you guys. This is your fans. These are guys who came out to support you, which is absolutely spectacular. This is why I do it.
Yeah, same here. I mean, Tallahassee, you are, of course, Tallahassee the Friendly. How have you felt about today's shenanigans?
Honestly, I'm amazed, A, that they came out in such force, and B, that they stuck around.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things that you just don't expect people to have the patience to stick around for the entire thing.
I know, because it is hard work, especially when you can't hear what's going on, and of course you'll see it all in the episode later, but they're doing it on faith, and of course they're doing it in a game that they love and that they play regularly, so we do very much appreciate it, guys. For every one of you who are watching this episode, who are here today, thank you for taking part in it, but your reward is coming up now. So Elrar, of course, you promised us bacon, and bacon is what you're going to deliver now. Can you walk us through exactly once more what it is that you've got here and what you're going to do with it?
Alright, so in the future, I will be able to give mass quantities of bacon to every group of community members that I encounter while playing the game. Now, I can only give it to a single person. I'm going to drop the bacon spawner, the bacon dispenser, if you will, that will dispense hot, crispy bacon into your inventory automatically. And also, I just decided I'm going to give you a second one, too, because I've got mead, and I don't know if you guys know, but I love me some mead.
All right, so here we are, folks, and of course, yes, we're inside the inn, and we've made it here, the flock of sheep running across the world of Talara, and, I mean, that's got to be something unique that you're not going to see for a long time. Oh, and I think I've run out of sheepiness, have I? Have I run out of sheepiness? Help! I'm no longer a sheep. Look at that, I'm the only human running around here. Dear, oh dear. Anyhow, Elrar, of course, we've got this oh, thank you very much. We've got a very special reward for one of our players that have come along here. You were just talking about the bacon and the mead item. Now, I understand correctly that if you're going to drop this somewhere randomly on the floor, right?
It's going to be anywhere in the inn where you can reach and click it. So I'm going to just pop up somewhere and drop the bacon.
Ooh, all right. So we're looking forward to that. Drop the bacon. There we go. And this is going to be actually for the lucky player that finds this first. It's going to be a server first award. Is that right?
It will be. Yep. They'll get the server first message. It will be theirs and theirs alone.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Well, now, Dead Simon, by the way, you're not allowed to participate in this, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Absolutely, I am not going to.
Now, by the way, Dead Simon, where are you? You know, there's a sea of sheep in here. I'm struggling to find you. Whereabouts are you in the room? I want to come and say hello to you. I'm up the front.
I'm the jumping sheep.
The jumping sheep. There are so many jumping sheep in this room. Look at that. Classic. We're trying to find... Look at this.
Next to Tallahassee.
Next to Tallahassee. Let's see if we can find... Oh, there he is. Where are we? Oh, I can see Tallahassee because we can see Hootie. There we go. There's Dead Simon. I'll come over and stand next to you. So this is it, folks. One of our lucky attendees here at our 100th anniversary episode filming is going to get something very special. And let's see if I can get myself... Actually, I'm going to get up on this table so I can get a good look around. Elrar, are you there? And are you ready to drop the meat?
I am. Here comes the bacon.
Here comes the bacon! Woo! All right, I can't even see. Now, look, you can let us know where you're going to drop it, by the way, because, of course, we're not going to participate. Whereabouts in the inn are you? Oh, there you go. Was that you coming? No?
Someone got it. I didn't get the server first, though. I don't know why.
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Oh, no, did I?
Oh, there's lies abounding.
Oh, yeah. They are.
Where? Hang on now.
I don't know why that happened.
I can't even see where. Now, where is the bacon? There's so many people running around here.
It's right in front of the fireplace there.
Right in front of the fireplace. Here we go. Right in front of the fireplace. Yeah. Look at that. There we go. There it is. That is... I can't even click on it. There's so many people around it. No, I can't click on it, sadly.
The bacon will only work for one person. That's what I was talking about. So once I get my bacon fixed, everyone can enjoy the bacon.
Oh, I see.
It's only the first person. They're the one person to get the bacon.
There you go. You got themselves the bacon. All right, so obviously there's some minor technical issue maybe.
It's more likely, it's probably just that I somehow appeared here before and dropped it some time in the past 2 months, so.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. I bounce around servers a lot. I didn't think I'd been here before.
That's okay. You know what? The fact of the matter is that we were all here and somebody got bacon. It wasn't me.
I'll drop the meat here and see. Maybe that'll work, so.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna drop the mead now.
All right. Whereabouts?
Here comes the mead in the corner by the leftmost beer cask. Oh, there we go. You got it.
Oh, there we go. The first on the shard. There we go. Cirrus from Seraphim. Let's say grats. Woo! Look at that. Cirrus from Seraphim was the first on the shard to acquire mead. A Seraphim member. How is that? Oh, Tallahassee, I don't know about you, but that's pretty typical of a fellow guildmate making a beeline for the booze, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it works.
There we go.
I'm trying to resheep you here, Tallahassee. You're running away.
Oh, has he turned himself into a human again? As long as he's not naked,
yes,
that's all we hear about. Well, there you have it, folks. You know what? Goodness knows how long this episode has gone on for, but I tell you what, I couldn't have asked for anything better. Not only have we had the unique and fortunate opportunity to interview Dead Simon himself, who, by the way, Dead Simon, when we scheduled this one and we put our little invitation episode up, I don't know if you've had a look, but the first thing people said was, oh, is it going to be Dead Simon? You've got a big following out there, by the way, and it's an honour and a privilege to have you on the show. Thank you so much for giving up so much of your time.
Well, I can only thank you for giving up so much of your time making 100 episodes of Let's Play Rift.
Oh, you know what? It is an absolute pleasure. Isn't it, Tallahassee? It's a pleasure playing with me in my full bags every single week. You love it, right?
I do. I do. I mean, this is my main MMO, so yeah, I love being here.
Yeah, well,
Someone had their dead Simon pet out.
Is that right? Really? Did they really?
Yeah.
Did we miss that? Damn it.
Yeah, on the table here, on the leftmost corner.
Oh, there it is. There it is, the dead Simon pet. Let's have a good old laugh at that.
Oh.
And speaking of you, Elrar, thank you very much as well. I mean, you know, Lord only knows, to my mind, being a community manager means you've got to have an endless amount of patience, you've got to have an endless amount of energy, and one of the most open minds ever. I can imagine that if you could, you would be able to tell us some hideous horror stories about your role currently, but I bet you down at the end of the day, you absolutely love, sounds to me like you love supporting this game that you love so much, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. It's times like this that makes everything worth it. You know, like, absolutely, every job has its ups and downs, but this is absolutely the reason why I do it, why we all do it, why we love this game and love making this game, love adding to this game, because you guys, you come out and you show us, you go, this is why we're doing it. It's you lead by example. So
well,
thank you very much.
You are most welcome, and of course it's a pleasure logging in every single week, and we love it. And look, I promise you, Dead Simon, if you're going to stick to the promise about mini Stonehenge, then I promise you that I shall clear my bags in your honour. Only for you. Tallahassee's been asking me for over a year, but you have asked me. I shall clear my bags, and you shall see it in the very next episode, I promise. But there we go, folks. We need to wrap this up because we are way over time. Take a look around. Feast your eyes on this. As both Dead Simon and Elrar have said, this is why we play MMOs. This especially now is why we play Rift. You guys have been lucky enough to have a behind the scenes look and chat with two of the most prominent figures in the game, and I'm sure you'll know now that everything we've said about Rift is true and its development. These guys love to play MMOs. They listen to us, and of course wherever possible they're trying to involve us as much as possible as a community in the design and development of this game, and you know what, we can't ask for more than that. So here we are in the sheep-filled inn, the blunted quill, as you will never see it possibly again, full of sheep. It is me, Sambo, Seraphis, Tallahassee, Dead Simon, and Elrar saying take care, guys. Hope you are all having a fantastic week wherever you are in the world. We do look forward to seeing you next time. We will see you then, and bye-bye.
Everyone, once again, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. You know, this is why we do it. It's why we love it, and thank you for enduring my hiccups to the end of this, and we really just love you guys all came out for this. Hope you had such a great time. Can't wait to do it again. See you in game.
Good night, everyone, or good morning, or good afternoon, whatever your case may be. That's one of the funnest things about MMOs, is playing with people all over the world, and I was really privileged to play with you all tonight. So it was a really great, fun sheep race. I hope we get to do it again someday.